So while I was on YouTube, Daniel back here for another video for the channel. So if you are new here and don't know me, I essentially help people reach their 10.0 self as fast as possible through their habits. So things like fitness, mentality, relationships, and also health and mindset. So essentially, this topic will be about tracking your macros. So this year is something I took very, very seriously, and I've seen the biggest results in terms of being able to cut weight, manage weight, hold weight, essentially everything you'd be able to essentially literally sculpt your body the way you want it to. I was looking to do it more to get my abdominals back in, which is something I haven't had since I was about like probably 20, 21, maybe even younger. And I've starting to get that now. And I mean, it's a huge kind of confidence boost in terms of just having that physique that I've always wanted. I thought it was unattainable since before I was never really tracking my macros and was kind of just eating whenever I felt satiated, and it was never really tracking my calories. So essentially, if you are new to macros is essentially you're tracking the nutrients, the essential nutrients that you're getting throughout the day, and also your calories as well. So essential nutrients being protein, fats, and carbs. These are the three nutrients that essentially affect your body the most, and then calories. You could see it as well as just calories is essentially your body designed by age as well as also physical activity to burn a certain amount of calories per day. Also, your height depends on it as well. So you can put this into a macro calculator, and it can calculate all this for you. But essentially, what you need is the calories, and then it'll give you the proteins, fats, and carbs. So the way to remember this is proteins will always be equal to a pound of your 1 gram of protein will always be equal to a pound of your current body weight. Um, Carbs will always be in grams. This is all in grams. So let's say you're like for me, I would be 210 6.5. So my protein would be 210. My carbs, I usually try to keep it to like 200 or 150. For these calculators, it sometimes recommends like 300, 375. That is way too many carbs to eat. Yeah, during the day. You'll see that with carbs, it's a huge energy spike and then a drop. And I mean, in order to be productive, you want to eliminate that as much as possible, especially in the morning. People that eat, high carb breakfast, like croissants, bread, cereal, stuff like that. That's like the worst decision you can be making. And essentially, you're not able to really start your day off with any energy at all. It's almost like a spike and then it just drops. So I would say after like an hour or two after your meal, you just feel like lethargic. You're probably like falling asleep, and this is not a productive way to start your day. So carbs, I would say, always try to keep depending on how you feel. Like have them, I would say low at first. So like 150, 200 is fine. You could even do 250. But I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to do. I would say most people are trying to lean out. So having that as as low as you can really just helps to sculpt that. Carbs just turn into sugar, and then it's turned into like stored fat. So something you should always keep in mind. Having too much carbs is just not good for energy and just your body in general. And then for fats, this one is usually, I would say you should have over 50 grams. Obviously, society has sold that fats were a bad thing in the past, like processed, like having too much fats leads to certain diseases or illnesses, and obviously it's not the case as long as they're natural fats and not like processed fats. These are actually one of the best things that you can eat because it keeps you super satiated, as opposed to carbs. Like I said, it's just a huge spike and drop, and then fat is kind of just like a steady kind of energy level. That's why people that are carnivore do always mention the benefits of just having like steady energy, because when you're eating meat, you're eating protein, of course, and you're also getting the fat from the animal as well. So that is kind of like when you're on a carnivore, which I've been on before, is essentially like your gasoline for the diet. If you're on like a traditional diet, obviously carbs helps with that as well, and carbs also does affect how much you can push in the gym. So one reason I went back to like a traditional like carb diet or just having more rice, a very strict diet. I can do that. I'll touch on that in a different video, but essentially it's helped me with essentially getting more out of the gym. So once you hit a certain level in the gym, you're running on fats, but then essentially it goes into carbs at one point. So when you're like starting on the gym and like say you're fasting and starts on or you're on a full stomach, you're running on fats and then it goes into carbs. So essentially, if you have a store of carbs, you're able to utilize that and have a you say more efficient, you could say workout or just efficient experience in training in general and getting the most out of your body that you can. So you're able to use that carb storage as well. But essentially, so to the point, those are the three. So for fats, you should have fats, like I said, over 50. You can put them pretty high up to like 90 grams. But you're always going to be fluctuating your carbs and your fats depending. So I would say have carbs will be like 200. You can have fats, depending on where um, you have the fats depending on where the carbs lay. So rule of thumb for this is you'll have your calories. So I'll give you an example for mine. So let's say mine is 250. That's 2,500 calories, which is like me trying to like lean out and just drop some weight in order to lean out. So 2,500 calories. You would have to calculate the calories per each section. So for protein, carbs, and fats. So rule of thumb is for each gram of fat and protein, that is 4 calories. Um, for each gram of fat in carbs, it's also 4 calories, and um, for each gram of fat, that is 9 calories. So this is the most calorie dense foods, of course. So things like avocados, um, fats from meat, stuff like that. Essentially also like dairy products have a lot of fat. So that's the most calorie dense foods you'll be eating. So you have to calculate first your protein. The best way to do it is times your protein by 4. You'll get the amount times your carbs that you want by 4, and you get that amount. You subtract that from your total calories, so 2,500. You can do the math for that, and then whatever is left will be your fats, and then you divide that by 9, and then you'll get your fats that are remaining that you can use. So if you want, like I said, more satiated diet and depend more on fats and little on carbs, you can calculate your fats first. So you say you want to have like 70 or 80 grams of fat, times that by 9, you'll get your amount. You subtract that from your total on top of the total for the protein, and then whatever is left you can use for carbs. Like I said, you can live without carbs, but you can't really live without fat because it's a satiating and nutrient, and also it helps with other functions as well of the body. So this is a basic breakdown of macros. Like I said, I do help people with this part of their habits of tracking. Like I said in the title, if you're not tracking, you're slacking, because this is the easiest and almost time not that time expensive way to track what you're eating and how essentially your body will look over the next weeks to months. So you can use a scale as well, which I started to use before. I was kind of just eyeing the food. You'd be using MyFitnessPal as the way to track this. There's other applications coming up. MyFitnessPal is the best one, and you track all your foods. You put in your calories, you put in your macros, so your proteins, fats, and carbs, and the goals for those. And then once you have that, it's just basically inputting all the food. You'll be able to see in front of your face, essentially, how much calories you're able to eat. If you're going, over at any point, you can adjust that. One rule of thumb as well is if you have, say a sweet tooth. One thing I tell people that I'm helping with, losing weight is if you want to, have a cheat meal, which I would suggest having like maybe once a week or twice every month, is to put that cheat meal first, because if you put it last, let's say for dinner, you always go over. because these cheat meals obviously have a lot more calorie dense. So put it first. Let's say it's you want to have some ice cream or cake or whatever it is. Make sure to put it first, and then you can adjust the calories the rest of the day based on that. And yeah, so hope that does um, help you with kind of a basic overview of tracking macros and calories as well. Some people call it calorie counting. I just call it tracking your macros because it's just simple mathematics. Like I said, your body, based on your activity level and how it is designed based on age and other things like that, has a natural um, natural calories that it's burning. And if you're eating more than whatever is burning, it's just natural mathematics, and you want to make sure that you have the calories that you need in order to either lose weight, maintain your current weight that you like, or gain weight. And obviously, people do dirty bulking stuff like that. I realize that it's you could do that, but the best way is kind of just to do gradually. So with fitness, MyFitnessPal, and just macro calculators in general, you have the ability to just gain like a pound a week. I think that's like the most it gives you, which is kind of a healthy, kind of steady climb as opposed to like dirty bulking. And like I said, you don't know what you're eating, and it's always not the best food. Bulking, there's bulking and dirty bulking. Dirty bulking is just involves like fast food or eating whatever is in front of you. So if you have any questions about that, I could reach. You can contact me on Instagram. Follow me there. I'll be able to speak with you. I share a lot of advice as well on different habits, stuff like that, and I'll be sharing more videos as well on different things that I come across. Like I said, this video is about macros and a good habit to keep your weight under control, especially if you're have the desire to have a good physique. Then this is the best, easiest way and trick to do it, because 70% of it is honestly diet and nutrition, what you're putting into your body. So hope this helps. Any questions, let me know, and yeah, keep killing it.